So as the title says, this is not wood turning, and this isn't even woodworking, but this area I just put together, I will be using it for my wood turning projects, woodworking, and other things that I do. I'm going to back the camera up, show you what it looks like from the front, how I plan on using it, and what used to be here and why I have this now. So let me get the camera set up and I'll explain everything. So this is the area that I just was working on. I was getting primer on that piece of plywood that's been sitting there for many years, hooked to something else. And what used to be here was my CNC jet milling machine. And that started its life as a mill drill, and I converted it by putting ball screws in it. I built the electronics to control it, and it worked really good. But I also have a full-size bridge port, and I just have not been using the jet. So I recently sold it, and I think it's going to a good place, and it'll get lots of use. So I've got a nice flat area where I can plan jobs out. I can line segments up the way I want them. I don't think I'll use it for a glue surface, but I can use it for almost anything else. And I got a multiple outlet right there. I added a shelf right above it, a short shelf, and I can keep my impact driver, my drill there, and whatever else I need. Little short tour of the shop. The rest of it's a mess, so I'm not going to show you that. That's a 14-inch disc sander that I built almost 50 years ago. And this is where I keep most of my lathe tools. So they're right behind me when I'm at the lathe. I also gained a lot of space underneath it. And I've been struggling finding a place to keep that laser engraver just because it ends up on a different bench. It's not really meant for it. And if not, it sits on my table saw, and that's a real nuisance. It now has a nice home right there. Everything that's needed to run it is under it. I got space for my vacuum. That's always been in my way because the jet stuck out and there was no place to tuck it. So now I can keep it there and I'm not tripping on it all the time. That's my paint cabinet. So like I said, if I can get the rest of this place straightened up, I might do a shop tour. But right now I'm trying to keep the work kind of light because, well, the doctor told me not to do something real heavy, and I had my first physical therapy last week and they think it's going to go quite well. So I think what I'll do today, now that I notice that laser engraver is sitting there and I can grab it and use it, I think I want to make something that I have not done before. It looks real complicated. It looks kind of delicate, but today I'm going to make a few of those things and surprise my wife with a couple of them that I found pretty cool designs. So when I come back, that's going to be set up there. I'll be cutting and engraving, but the neighbors are getting ready to start cutting some more trees down. It's going to get noisy, so I won't be talking during this video, but I'll see you at the end and we'll talk about what I just made. So this is the Creality Falcon 22-watt laser, and I think it's going to do a really good job. I just wanted to point out this does not replace this Friday's wood turning video. If this does not interest you, I look forward to seeing you Friday. I am using 1/8-inch plywood for everything. The first number is speed, and that's given in millimeters a minute. The second number is the power, and it is given as a percentage of full power. In this case, it's 95%. Everything I'm making here today is really quite a bit of time involved in cutting them and engraving them. So I really need to speed these up a little bit, but I'm giving you the actual time that it took to make them. And I just kind of noticed that the chainsaws really showed up on the sound, so I do want to keep that muted, and you'll hear it pretty soon. They're cutting down some huge trees in front of their place. So I'm going to show you what I made and my thoughts on this whole process. This is a shelf. You can see the bracket under there for support. It's just really cool looking. It was so simple to do. Now, if you were into craft shows, I'm sure you could make a pretty good profit making these. They're easy to assemble and they're sure easy to make. In the past, in years past, it would take a scroll saw to make this. And there's been some nice ones made with a scroll saw, but this is just absolutely perfect and so easy. I guess if I was going to sell things at a craft show, that's how I do it. But I don't do craft shows. And it was a lot of fun. This is also a big hit around here. It was called a brush box. I guess you put a brush in there. Maybe that looks like a handle on a brush, but it's got a cat image on it. And again, so simple to make and just looks pretty cool. Had to make myself something. That's a copy of a Gibson SG. Very popular back in the 60s with the rock and rollers. It's kind of cool. I wonder if it actually works. Let's see. That is considered a remote control box, and I guess kind of what it looks like. But again, this just all popped together. Pretty simple. I'll bet you could sell a lot of these. I don't think I would put remote controls in it because I have a problem with losing pens and pencils out here. I'll put it right there. Maybe I can find my pencils. And then I made a little box shaped like a heart. Not very big, but sometimes you can have items that are way too big, especially when you have a lot of them around and there's no space to put them. And this actually has a little lid on it. But I decided to personalize it, and that's what I did right there. So that is a little past Valentine's Day to give it to her, but I'm going to just give it to her just like this, just because it's today. I did make a second one of these boxes, and I haven't engraved anything on it. I think I'll probably make a half a dozen more of these and just give them out as gifts. And I really like this cat. It is so cool looking. And what the dark you're seeing is you're looking at my shirt, because those are just openings. I'll get a close-up picture of that at the end. That's pretty cool. So I actually had a lot of fun doing this. I didn't know if I would like cutting these pieces and then trying to snap them together, but when I found out how easy it snapped together, I had a great time doing it. That's why I made a second box, because it was so fun. So that laser, I'm just going to tell you what I think about it, because I've used it the 2 times now, and it's just totally amazing the power that it has. I could have even cut these pieces out quicker, but worked quite good on those settings. So I'm pretty impressed with the whole machine. Actually, it never failed once, and it's so simple to set up. Very impressed with it. And I'll have some information. I'll put it in the description. If you're interested in it at all, you can look in there and look into this yourself if you want to. And that's about it. And also, do not forget, wood turning this Friday. Something special coming up. So, till the next time, I'll see you later.